Hello everyone, let's talk about Ark. Being an Ark player is extremely chaotic and confusing at best. Ark is extremely buggy and the game is terribly mismanaged by the owners and the developers. And yet we all keep coming back. Why is that? Why do we love this game so much that we're willing to endure this torture? Why does this messy, frequently delayed, poorly communicated game still have one of the most loyal communities in survival gaming? First is progression. At its core, Ark nails something that's incredibly important for nearly every successful survival game, and that's its core progression loop. It's not just about leveling up, it's about evolving alongside your tames. 1 minute you're corralling a bunch of dodos in a thatch hut on a beach with a small wooden tool, and next thing you know you're flying through the sky on a mutated lightning wyvern capable of one-shotting nearly every single creature you come across. It's a brilliant experience, starting from the bottom of the food chain and working your way towards the top. And then there's creatures. Every creature is unique in some way, and yes, some are obviously far better than others. And there are some that could be considered completely useless, but either way, there's over 200 creatures across multiple different maps that can be your allies. And for the most part, these creatures fall into one of 3 categories when it comes to taming. First up is knocking creatures out and then giving them food. Others requiring a more patient approach as you passively gain their trust with their favorite traits, of course. And then there are others that are just unique, and some that are also frankly just a giant pain, but yeah, there's a lot of creatures, so overall it adds immense value to just the core gameplay loop. So while Ark is not usually compared to a creature collecting game, it really does have that element as well. Well, at least once you have your bearings and stop dying every couple of minutes and can actually enjoy the game. And then there's base building. Ark gives you the freedom to build how you want and where you want. It was far less forgiving and quite a bit more challenging in ASE for most players. However, even building in ASE was better than most other survival games. Thankfully though, in Ark Survival Ascended, there's been tremendous strides in quality of life changes that make building, well, actually really enjoyable. Now, becoming a skilled builder in Ark is less about the jank like other survival games and more just about your patience because, well, trees are not going to chop themselves down, and then of course it just comes down to your creativity. But the options and possibilities are there and so many things are streamlined and just easy to do. If you want a cool cliffside base, go build it. Or if you prefer a giant tech fortress, you can do that too. Or maybe you're just a Bob at heart, want a cute little hut on the beach with your dodo family and, well, I'm not gonna judge you, you can do that too. And your base isn't just for looks, there's actually a purpose for setting up different types of structures throughout the map. You get buffs when you're in your house to withstand the weather. Then you can build crafting stations that make all that sweet ammo for a raid. Or you can build a greenhouse to harvest crops, or a breeding area to breed the perfect tame. Also, you need somewhere to store all that sweet loot. There's a purpose for building in Ark, which a lot of survival games just have as an afterthought, but Ark actually has it included in its core gameplay loop. And you can basically build literally wherever you want, minus small designated mission areas or certain terminal locations, or in PvP there are certain hotspots you can't build, but overall you have a lot of freedom. And speaking of cool places, Ark is not just about survival mechanics, it's the world. Or rather, worlds. As there's not one, but 12 different official maps you can play on in Ark Survival Evolved, and currently 7 in Ark Survival Ascended, soon to be 14 once everything is released. And yes, that may take 3 years with the constant delays we're seeing, but the fact is, any other survival game, you have 1, maybe 2 maps. Ark has over a dozen. Every time you play a new map, it is a new story with a new experience. For example, on Scorched Earth, it's about enduring the heat and the sandstorms while fighting for water and that constant early game struggle. Then on Aberration, you descend into a broken world and have to deal with radiation, glowing creatures, and just the vertical nightmare of traversing the different zones. And then things like Genesis just toss you into simulations. Every single map feels like its own survival puzzle and challenge. There's often new creatures, new weather, new resources, and new secrets to discover, which hugely helps with replayability. You could have thousands of hours in Ark, but if you've never played a certain map, the moment you step into that map, even with all of your foundational Ark experience, it's still going to feel like a fresh experience. The multiple maps truly keep Ark from ever becoming stale. And then there's randomization, the chaos of Ark, what we live and die for in Ark. You could be out taming a Baryonyx and then suddenly you get grabbed by a Capro. FYI, hold up your shield, you'll be good. Or you could lose hours of progress because you accidentally yeeted yourself off your flyer mid-flight. It is truly frustrating at times, but it's also completely unforgettable. Ark lives in those unpredictable, unscripted moments. We'll get the narcotics first, completely fill up his torpor bar, and then load him with the prime meat here. I just ate all the narcos. Oh man, that's what happened when I'm reading chat. Did I just eat all 2 stacks of narco berries? Oh, oh no. Well, that griffin might wake up. I think I'll be here for quite a while snoozing. Did I really just do that? Oh man. I was watching the freaking chat. And then if the base game of Ark is just not enough for you, mods are an integral part of the Ark community. In Ark Survival Evolved on console, this was not an option, but mods now are bigger and better than ever. Whenever Wildcard or Snail Games drops the ball, and let's be honest, Ark Aquatica. Paid creatures, a new map delays, well, I could go on. But the community picks up right where they dropped the ball and extend the life of the game in massive ways. From quality of life improvements to complete overhauls like Primal Fear or great creatures like we've seen in Ark Editions. Ones that realistically are just better than a lot of the vanilla Ark creatures. So yeah, big shout out to the mod community, you guys are great, and thanks for all that you do. Now it's important we discuss the settings. If you aren't looking for mods and just want to adjust basic vanilla settings in a single player world, this game is one of the most accessible survival games, and also one of the most brutal, and that's because you can customize it. And yes, this is a feature becoming slightly more common in survival games, but Ark was one of the first to do it. So if you want a hardcore world where every rock you break literally just gives you 1 stone because you hate yourself and you want that pain, you can do that. Or if you maybe want 10 times rates because you want a chill experience with your friends, maybe you can only play for 2 hours a week, you can do that too, and you can enjoy it because you customize it to how you can play. Or maybe you want to breed creatures like bunnies and have the parents do the deed every couple of minutes so you have babies get thrust out faster than you can use the restroom. That's totally an option. That is one of the best parts of Ark, is the customization. Alright, now let's snap back to reality and contradict basically everything I just said, because here is the problem. We should not love Ark as much as we do. Delays, silence from Snail Games and from Wildcard, confusing communication, missed deadlines, broken launches, and the list just goes on. And yet, as players, we stay. We take it. Because Ark is more than the sum of its mistakes. We love the game, so no matter the condition of the game, we stay. But Wildcard, Snail Games, if you're listening, no matter how broken Ark may be, we're all still here because we love this game deeply. But when a player gets lied to, taken advantage of, and feels used, you will lose players. And no, I don't mean me or other content creators who have made this a career. We're probably still going to be here because that's a part of what we do every single day. I mean real people. People whose names you don't know. Those people whose names you don't know, those are the most important people. The ones that play this game every single day. The ones that provide constant feedback. The ones who have supported you through every single delay and every year of constant opportunities. So with that being said, show us your passion. Show us you care as much as we do. You don't need an approval for that. You don't need money for that. You just need to make time, and you need to do it right. And I don't mean give us weekly updates about what you've patched or possible plans for future content. I get withholding some of that information. Just turn on a live stream, play your game with your community watching, do fun Q&As with the community. Hell, play with the community. If you want to rebuild the trust with this Ark community and continue growing, not losing your fan base, and even getting new players to join the game, to watch those numbers go up, you need to show us that you actually care. And that all starts with transparency and clear communication. So yeah, I love Ark. It's one of the greatest games ever made. But you, as developers, need to show us that you actually think the same thing. Alright, well, I've never made anything like this. I hope anyone watching this can relate and understand that this all comes from a place of passion. Thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate you. I'll see you all later.